Let's get right into it. Rats can laugh. Wait, rats can laugh? It sounds unbelievable, but scientists have found that pet rats are far more emotional than most people imagine. In laboratory studies, some rats have even worked to free trapped companions without receiving a reward themselves, suggesting a form of empathy. And that's where things get even more fascinating. When rats play together or are gently tickled by researchers, they produce tiny ultrasonic chirps at around 50 kilohertz, far too high for human ears to hear. Those tiny chirps are closely linked with positive emotions, which is why researchers often describe them as the rat version of laughter. Think about that for a second. Behind those tiny whiskers is an animal that enjoys friendship, play, and companionship. Pet rats can become stressed when isolated, proving they're far more emotionally complex than most people ever imagine. Pet rats stay surprisingly clean. Dirty, not even close. Pet rats have one of the most misunderstood reputations in the animal world. In reality, they're meticulous groomers that spend hours every day cleaning their fur, washing their faces, and even grooming their cage mates. This daily routine isn't just about staying tidy. It also strengthens social bonds and helps keep their coats healthy and well-maintained. Here's the surprising part. If a pet rat smells bad, the cage is usually the real culprit, not the rat. Pet rats naturally prefer clean surroundings and often use the same corner as a toilet, making litter training possible with patience. Look beyond the myths, and you'll discover an intelligent, tidy little animal that's far cleaner than most people ever expect. Dogs understand more than you think. How smart is the average dog? Believe it or not, many researchers compare certain aspects of a dog's thinking to that of a 2-year-old child. Dogs can learn the meaning of dozens of words, recognize familiar objects, and even follow pointing gestures with surprising accuracy. Every day, they're quietly watching us, learning routines, reading patterns, and understanding far more than we often give them credit for. Here's where things get even more fascinating. Dogs don't just memorize commands. They are experts at reading people. They can recognize facial expressions, interpret body language, and respond to changes in your tone of voice. Their intelligence varies with breed, training, and personality. But one thing is clear. Few animals build such strong emotional connections with humans while constantly learning from every interaction they share with us. Dogs have a dominant paw. Here's a fun question. Is your dog left-pawed or right-pawed? Believe it or not, many dogs naturally favor one paw over the other, just as most people prefer one hand. You might notice it when they reach for a toy, hold a chew, step over an obstacle, or try to grab a treat. It seems like a tiny habit, but it gives scientists fascinating clues about how a dog's brain is organized. Researchers have found that many dogs consistently prefer one paw while others switch between both. This natural tendency, known as paw laterality, doesn't make a dog smarter or more talented. It simply reflects individual differences in brain function. So the next time your furry friend reaches for a toy, watch closely. You might discover whether you've got a lefty or a righty right at home. Guinea pigs. Popcorn. Ever seen popcorn burst in a hot pan? Now imagine a tiny guinea pig doing the same thing. When guinea pigs become especially happy or excited, they suddenly leap into the air, twist their bodies, and dart off again in a split second. This adorable behavior is called popcorning, and it's one of the clearest signs that your furry little friend is feeling safe, comfortable, and full of joy. Here's the fun part. Young guinea pigs popcorn, most often because they're naturally full of energy. But healthy adults can do it too. You might spot these joyful jumps during playtime, after fresh vegetables arrive, or while exploring a freshly cleaned enclosure. It's not a trick or a warning sign. It's simply one of nature's cutest ways of saying, I'm really happy. Cats and earthquake prediction. Imagine your cat suddenly acting strangely, hiding under furniture, pacing around, or becoming unusually alert. Could it know something you don't? For generations, people have shared stories of cats behaving differently before earthquakes, creating the belief that they can predict disasters. It sounds impossible, right? But the truth is more complicated, and science has a fascinating answer. These tales have continued for centuries. Cats really do have impressive senses. They can hear frequencies beyond human hearing and feel tiny vibrations through their paws and bodies. These abilities might help them notice small changes in their surroundings before people do. However, researchers have not found reliable scientific proof that cats can predict earthquakes before they happen. So far, those mysterious warnings remain unconfirmed, even though cats continue to amaze us. The healing power of purrs. A cat's purr is more than a cute sound. It is a fascinating mystery. These vibrations usually range from 25 to 150 hertz, and scientists have studied whether they may support bone and tissue healing. The idea is interesting, but it is not proven. Cats also bring comfort to people. Their purring can create a calming effect and help many owners feel relaxed. So, while a purr is not a medical cure, it may still be one of nature's most soothing sounds. Birds and iguanas surprises. A bird's body works like a tiny engine running at incredible speed. A resting bird can have a heart rate of around 400 beats every minute, keeping oxygen flowing for an active lifestyle. But the surprises don't stop there. Some large parrots, including macaws, can live for more than 75 years, meaning these colorful companions can remain part of a family for generations. Their intelligence and personalities make them fascinating birds on Earth. Now, meet another animal with an unbelievable ability, the iguana. These reptiles can hold their breath underwater for up to 30 minutes, helping them escape danger or stay hidden when needed. This skill is especially useful for species that live near water. From a racing heartbeat to a decades-long lifespan and underwater endurance, these animals prove nature creates abilities far beyond what we expect. Nature is truly amazing. Betta fish color secrets. Betta fish are famous for their stunning appearance, and it's easy to see why. These colorful fish come in more than 25 recognized color varieties, including brilliant red, deep blue, emerald green, yellow, orange, purple, black, white, pastel shades, and even transparent forms. But their beauty isn't just for show. A male betta will often spread its fins wide and flare its gills when it feels threatened or wants to defend its territory. Here's something many people don't know. The rich, vibrant colors of a healthy male betta often reflect good genetics, proper care, and suitable living conditions. While color alone can't guarantee perfect health, a bright, well-maintained betta is generally a positive sign. With flowing fins, bold displays, and an incredible range of colors, these tiny fish have earned their place as one of the world's most admired aquarium pets. Axolotls never grow up. Imagine becoming an adult without ever growing out of your childhood. That's exactly what happens to the axolotl. Unlike most salamanders, axolotls experience neoteny, meaning they reach adulthood and can reproduce while keeping their feathery external gills and fully aquatic lifestyle. Instead of transforming into a land-dwelling salamander, they remain in their youthful form for life. Sounds impossible, right? Yet this remarkable amphibian makes it look completely normal. And that's only the beginning. Axolotls possess one of the most extraordinary healing abilities in the animal kingdom. If they lose a leg, part of their heart, or even sections of their brain, they can regenerate the missing tissue with little to no scarring. Scientists study this incredible ability in hopes of learning more about regeneration and healing. For such a small creature, the axolotl carries one of nature's greatest biological mysteries. Sugar gliders need calcium. Sugar gliders may look adorable, but their tiny bodies are surprisingly delicate. They need a very specific balance of calcium and phosphorus in their diet. If they don't get enough calcium, they can develop hind leg paralysis, HLP, a serious condition that weakens or even temporarily paralyzes their back legs. That's why proper nutrition is essential for these little marsupials. Here's another surprising fact. Male sugar gliders have a scent gland on the top of their bald heads. They use it to mark their territory, other gliders, and sometimes even their favorite human companions. It's their unique way of saying, "You're part of my family." Until we meet again.